In the heart of a quiet African village stood a house no one spoke of. Not because they forgot, but because they remembered too well. They said no one ever slept there twice. Not because they wouldn't, but because they couldn't. And one girl was foolish, or brave, enough to find out why. Her name was Lela, 17, fiery and curious, too curious. The elders of Msum had always warned the children, "There's a house near the river where sleep never returns the same soul. Avoid it." But Lela, born in the age of smartphones and skepticism, didn't believe in curses. To her, the stories were just old people's way of keeping fear alive. Then one day, after a small village gathering, a dare was thrown. "Spend the night in that house, Lela," said Odieno, a boy who secretly liked her but feared showing it. "If you're as fearless as you claim." Lela smirked. "Only one night? I'll even come back with breakfast." Everyone laughed, but uneasily. As dusk bled into night, Lela packed a bag, lantern, snacks, a mat, and made her way down the cracked path to the house with no history. The house stood as if the earth had tried to bury it but failed. Its walls were cracked, its wooden door worn and sunken. Yet it stood strong, as if it waited. Lela pushed the door. It groaned open without resistance. Inside, dust hung in the air like whispers. Cobwebs draped the corners like warning signs. There was no furniture, only a mat left behind by someone who never returned for it. She lit her lantern, laid out her own mat, and laughed. "So this is the house that eats dreams? Doesn't look too hungry." But as midnight arrived, the house began to breathe. The air turned heavy. The temperature dropped. She heard it first as a soft dragging sound, like bare feet on old wood. Then a whisper. Not from outside. Not from behind. From beneath. There was no basement, but the wooden floor beneath her creaked, like something inside was listening. "Who sleeps here tonight?" a voice slithered into her ears. She froze. "Who dares dream in the house of the lost?" Her lantern flickered violently. Darkness. In the thick silence, something touched her foot. So cold. What? She leapt up, heart pounding, scrambling to relight her lamp, but it was gone. She wasn't alone. A breath tickled the nape of her neck. Then came the voice again. "You dream. So I feed." Lela screamed, and the world went black. She awoke to morning light flooding through the cracks. Somehow she had slept. Shaken, but alive, she gathered her things and left. But something felt wrong. She greeted villagers on the way back. They stared at her, confused, distant. Even her mother looked through her with wide, hollow eyes. "Who are you?" her mother asked. Lela laughed, unsure if it was a joke. But her mother began to cry. "You look like my daughter, but that's not her voice." Over the next days, strange things happened. Lela didn't sleep. She didn't eat. And at night, she would walk to the house again, every time returning with a wider smile. She stopped calling her mother Mama. She started calling her the woman. Children began to cry in her presence. Animals fled. And then villagers began disappearing. First Odieno, then Chiku, her best friend. One by one, all had something in common. They had dared her to go. And each time someone vanished, the old house's windows flickered, like it was laughing. The village elder, Mzee Baraka, had seen this before. He approached Lela on the 7th night after her return. "What did you let in?" he asked. She smiled. "I just needed a place to rest. But now I'm so full." Baraka trembled. "That is not the girl." He called a cleansing. The village gathered. Prayers were said. Charms were hung. Lela laughed at them all. And as night fell, she walked back to the house once more. Only this time, they followed her. They reached the house and circled it with fire and chants, trying to seal the evil inside. But the house groaned. The wind rose. Then the door burst open, and from it came not one, but many figures with Lela's face. Dozens. Some twisted, some crying, some screaming. All of them broken pieces of dreams that never woke. The real Lela had never left the house. What walked out that morning was a shell, a mimic, a feeder. The villagers fled, but not fast enough. By dawn, the house stood silent again, empty, waiting, and beside it, a sign, carved into a wooden plank, written in blood. Sleep here once, and you'll never sleep alone again. So next time you hear a tale about an old house no one returns from, believe it. Because some doors don't open to rooms. They open to hunger. And they say, no one sleeps in that house twice. But something else does. Have you heard similar tales in your village or family? Share your own spooky stories. And make sure you subscribe and turn on the bell icon because the next story might be even scarier. Thanks for watching another dark African tale. Until next time, sleep well if you can.